I've got lots of big buckets because I need compost and I need compost fairly quickly. My compost piles that I have going outside have basically done nothing. It's a thing. So I did a ton of freaking research on compost and soil science and all the fun things. Black is your friend. The hotter it can get, the more it will, what's the word? Not disintegrate, because disintegrate is disappear. The more it will break down and it will become compost faster, because if these are outside, the sun's going to hit them, it's going to heat them up, and it's going to break down all those components so much faster. So I went and grabbed these buckets. I think they were $15.99 at the Home Depot. I will double check and put that in the description below. And now we're going to drill some holes in it. So we are going to put some holes in the bottom for drainage. And we are going to put some holes in the lid for breathability. Yes, the lids are yellow. That was my only option. So we're going to go with it. So I'm going to flip this bad boy over. And get my drill out, which, yeah, after my husband saw the drill that I was using in the garden, he told me I was not allowed to use that drill on anything else, so I had to buy a new drill. So here's my new indoor building drill, not to be used in the garden. We're going to want these to be fairly big holes. And I have a drill bit for that. Oh, I just need to locate it. Did my husband take my drill bit? I put it somewhere where I remember where it was, and I didn't remember where it was. Okay, always put your drill bits in your bag. So this is a drill bit, and it can go through thinner things like thin metals, things like that. It was about $60. I have used this drill bit so many freaking times. It's insane. You could probably use a wood drill bit, but I need to get fairly big holes, and I probably need bigger holes than this. So I'm just going to drill more holes. And now we get to laugh at me and see if I can remember how to do this. So I know we put it in the hole. And my husband is taking things to dump right now. So I do not have him here to remind me how to do this. Oh, that would be how. We said snap it. All right. And we're good to go. Let's hope that's on all the way, because sometimes I have an issue with that. So we're going to take our buckets and we're going to drill holes in it. I want to try to keep vermin and things out. That has a pokey. Vermin and things out. So instead of drilling into these raised bits, I'm going to drill here, and these are going to probably sink into the ground. In all honesty, once it gets wet and heavy, it's going to go down far enough that really nothing's going to be able to get in. So if I have my drill facing the right direction. Yep, I didn't. I'm going to the largest size I can. And my cats are going to have a heyday with all those. I'm going to do this, let's say 4 times in each one of these, because I want enough drainage. I don't want this to get icky. And when I say icky, I mean anaerobic. I do not want this to get anaerobic. And I will take one of my sharp things and clean this up. Okay, so we're going to do 5. And the reason we're doing this right now is because it's Saturday and it's about to be a whole ass day in the Chaos Garden. And if you're wondering how I'm holding it still while I'm doing this, my foot is on the edge of the bucket. Even the most curious cat in the world is like, what are you doing, Mom? See why I love this thing? This thing is awesome. It makes very quick work of holes. And I can go to any depth that I want on this, so I don't have to do huge holes. I do have to have the drill going the right direction though. See, I can have any size hole that I want. I did want to make sure they were big enough for the drainage. And my land is very, very uneven, which is why I'm doing so many. Because some of these may be not draining as appropriately as they need to be. So I want to make sure I do have enough drainage. But Brennan, how is it going to get water into it if there is a lid? We're about to go through that part right now. Flip it over. And now that I have, one of these has dirt in it, I'm going to take one of the lids, dump off all my little squirrely pieces. I'm going to attach the lid to my bucket. And I'm going to drill holes throughout the bucket. Lid. This would be the lid. And I am doing these smaller. And I am doing them in the front of the. I think my cat just tooted. In the crevices of the lines. Because when rain hits it, it's going to fall into these crevices. So that's how the water is going to get in. And we do need water in it to help break everything down. Our first bucket is done and ready to go out to the garden. It is super simple. We have our holes on the bottom. We have our holes on top. And if you're worried about animals or vermin or something getting into this, you can always put a wire mesh on the very bottom of the bucket and kind of keep holding them out. And if you don't want it inside the bucket, you can always put it on the ground underneath your makeshift compost bin. Compost bin. I'm going to run through and do a couple more of these, and then we'll go get them filled up when we start cleaning up the garden, y'all. I'll see you in, for you, a few seconds, and for me, probably a couple of hours. We're out by the garden, finally. Still windy. But I brought out all of our bins, and the reason I have 3 is so I can easily turn them with it. And I was watching the Lazy Gardener. She's fabulous. And she keeps her compost right by the garden because that's where most of her compost goes. I did bring out our kitchen compost to pop in here, which I'm out of the garden all the time. I can easily put that in a roller cart thing and get it out here. What doesn't go to the worms will go in here. So I'm going to get these set up. Last year there was a rose bush over here that did not make it. I should probably put wheat fabric down first. That would probably be a better idea. Let's do that. That way I don't have to worry about moving them and getting all the weeds out. Just get some wheat fabric down here real quick. Simpler. It's gonna grow here anyway. Oh, it's alive! Well, I guess we'll put them over there. And then put wheat fabric around the rows. We'll do that. Because she was really pretty. And the valerian's gonna move anyway, so I can always extend it over there and save my little rose girl. Bring me here for the accents. Something saved. Well, since we're moving her anyway, might as well get her out of my way. Oh, that's fucking heavy. All right, we got that in secure. Rose is right there. sunblock yet because it is not that time of year yet. I know that looks like it's blowing, but the buckets are going to help hold that down. Let y'all see what I'm fighting over here. I figure if I'm gonna do one portion of it, I might as well do the whole thing. And now I have a thorn in my freaking thumb. Now, we can commence with our compost bins. I don't have zip ties, but I do have S-hooks. And I'm trying to make sure that these are not going to get blown away by the wind. So, these are for a whole different project, but we're going to see. So I put this here, set in there. There. Maybe the wind. Oh, but then the lid won't. But there's a hole in the lid, and I can do the. Okay, got it. I got it. I'll explain the crazy headspace here in a minute. So I'm gonna go and get the chicken shit and put it in our first bin, and then I'm going to layer over the kitchen scraps. And then as I go through and clean the garden, I'm going to put those in as well. That did not go as planned. All right, we got that layer going. We're going to do one more, simply because I need the bucket. So what I'm doing is I have an S hook, and because of the wind, these are not heavy enough yet. I'm taking an S hook, hook it to the lid that has a hole that matches, and slide it over here and connect it. Because sometimes we get really, really, really heavy winds, like today, and I don't want the bucket blown away until it's heavy enough that this holds its weight. Okay, I'm going to continue this down the line. I am thinking that I do like this gray mesh stuff way better than the black stuff. And now just to show how easy it'll be for me to, oh, I'm still not in the camera. We'll start over here then. This is our kitchen bucket.
It's a food safe bucket with a spinny lid on it. Keep all the smells and egg at bay. So I'll just come over here, unhook my S hook, open it up, spin my lid. That's the Mick. Lid back on and sealed it. Smell. It has not degraded at all. And let me go get you and show you what this looks like. So we now have our foodstuffs on top. I'm going to put the lid back on and then go clean up in the garden and put that stuff on top of this. So we'll have all the layers we need. All right, now that we have the garden cleared out, we get our green material that we needed, which is basically the weeds from all over the garden, and whatever we don't need in the compost bins, we'll go to the chickens and they'll scratch through it and they'll have a blast. So, in this icky, whew, I'm going to hit myself in the head. It's going to be fun. We are going to pile in our green material over our food material, and then it will be the brown material, because that brown material is also going to help keep the smell down. In our other compost bin, we're not going to have food material yet. All right, there's a beetle trying to climb on my pants, and I prefer you not to do that. All right, we got a layer of green material. Bring y'all over here and show you that. All right, our layer of green. And underneath here, we have our layer of food and chicken poo and stuff. Let me get some of the brown material. And then this one will be ready to be watered. And we have our brown material. I'm going to go grab the hose and we're going to get that watered down because there's supposed to be some moisture in there. All right. And now we seal it back up. And just so you can see what I'm doing with this S hook. Hooking it in here and there, and then I'm just making sure it's held pretty tight so my box does not fly away. Whew. That was a lot today. I don't know if this is just going to be the composting bin video, but I have worked my way from the front of the house, making the compost bins, all the way back to the garden, into cleaning the garden to have stuff to put in the compost bins, cleaning the chicken coop, putting up the rose beds. If you've made it through this long of a video, I so appreciate you and thank you so much. You are awesome. If you do like these types of videos where we go through random things and chaos sometimes, because that's just how life goes, go ahead and Velociraptor peck the like button. And if you would so like to, please subscribe. Have a blessed and magical week, y'all. Bye.